Marketing is a dial, not a switch. You never want to stop marketing, ever. No matter how busy you are, no matter how booked you are, you cannot afford to stop marketing. And in this video, I'm going to make a couple points that I think might help convince you why you should always keep marketing no matter what. So what is marketing? Marketing is basically just the process of being known, letting people know what it is, what you do. It does not necessarily mean you have to spend money, although you can. You can either do free or paid. For the sake of this video, we're going to talk about organic and paid marketing and why I think you should always be doing at least one of those. The reason why you never want to stop marketing is because our business, if you haven't been in the barber industry for that long, then you will eventually come to realize this. But our business has seasons, and there are seasons where it is extremely busy, like the holidays. So really around any holiday, especially a major holiday, you're going to see a peak in business. But typically, the biggest ones are back to school. So sometime around August or September, whenever you go back to school, there's going to be a mad rush. And it's not always kids, but it's just people tend to move in the summer. So once they settle down, they start looking for a new barbershop. And for some reason, that tends to be around back to school time. So we don't have a very huge clientele of kids, but around back to school, it just gets crazy busy. And my suspicion for the reason why that is because if people are going on vacation, they're moving or whatever during the summer. So actually the summertime is actually one of the slowest times. Actually, one of the worst months is June. And this is for Florida. I mean, it may be different in your state, but June and July are a great time to take a vacation as a barber because it tends to be some of the slower months of the entire year. But some of the busiest months are, of course, November, like leading up to Thanksgiving, and then December and New Year's. So because of Christmas and New Year's. And then there's all the other holidays throughout the year that you'll start to see little peaks in business. So, any holiday that involves traveling, like Memorial Day, 4th of July, especially if it falls on a weekend where people tend to stretch that out until a 3 or 4 day weekend, you're going to see a big peak in business leading up to that holiday. But after that holiday, it crashes. And all of a sudden, it's like, where did everybody go? And there's some times where it's just a couple weeks where it's like that. And there could be times where it's an entire month or a season where it's just crazy slow. So barbers sometimes think like, because they're in that busy season, they're not thinking and mentally preparing for the fact that this isn't going to last much longer. And I think even the busiest barbershops tend to have times where they are less busy. It still could be busier than the average barbershop, but almost every barbershop that I'm aware of has times where the business has more clients coming in than usual and they have less clients coming in. So because the business, and the longer you're in the business, the more you start to see these patterns. But because you can now predict, and since I just shared it with you, that there's going to be times of the year where it's slow, you never want to stop marketing. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're always going to be busy. Hopefully you are. But you also have to keep in mind that you're going to lose clients. Even if you're a really amazing barber and you're keeping a huge majority of the clients that come in, it's virtually impossible to have 100% client retention. I've never seen it. I've never heard about anybody doing it. The best you can hope for is like 95%. But you're always going to be losing clients for whatever reason, right? Clients move. I've had clients die. I've had clients that just stop coming for whatever reason. Maybe they found another place where I'm less convenient now because they have to book weeks in advance. But you're going to always have clients that stop coming for whatever reason. And a lot of times, it may not even be related to you. So you have to always have something out there attracting new clients. Otherwise, if you don't have a way of replacing these clients you lost, then eventually you're going to find yourself getting slower and slower and slower because you're losing clients without having a way of replenishing that bucket. Okay? So you want one of my favorite quotes when it comes to this is dig a well before you're thirsty. I think it would be ridiculous if you were stranded on a desert island and you had the ability to dig a well so that you would always have at least fresh water. You probably would not be a good idea to wait until you were thirsty to start drinking, to start building the well. And when it comes to marketing, what we're trying to do is never turn off that faucet. We always want to have the faucet on because you never know when you're going to be thirsty in business. None of us saw COVID coming, right? And all of a sudden, everybody was dead. So I want to cover some tactics with you that I use in order to never stop marketing. The first thing is you have to be consistent. So when it comes to social media, for example, and we're just talking about organic, just posting on your social media, what you want to do is find a schedule that works for you. That's what consistency means. It doesn't mean post every day or multiple times a day. What you want to do, in my opinion, is figure out a schedule that works for you and stick with it. Something that you can do when you're busy or when you're slow. But if for you, that means you can only post one day a week, then do that, right? If you can post every day, once a day, then do that. But you want to have a schedule so that way, no matter what's going on in the barbershop, you can be consistent. As of right now, our goal is to just post once a day because that's sustainable. We can do that. We batch our videos, we record 2 weeks worth of content in one day, a month's worth of content, and we schedule it out, and then we don't have to do it again for like another few weeks. We don't have to worry about it. So that system is what works for us. But if you aren't able to post every day, then post once a day. Just whatever you do, commit to a schedule and try to be consistent with it. And when it comes to paid marketing, you want to think about, that's where you want to think about as a dial and not a switch. You can also do this with social media as well. If you can commit to once a week to post on social media when you're busy, but you're slow and you have more time, then post more. But the minimum should be once a week, once a month, whatever. Commit to a schedule and hold it. And then if you slow down, then dial it up, right? Because now we need to get more clients in the door. And the same thing goes for paid marketing. So I don't think you should, I've learned this from experience. You're never too busy to run ads, ever, in my opinion. What you want to do though, is if you are crazy busy, then turn the budget down. So we run Facebook ads and sometimes Google ads. So when we're extremely busy, we are turning the budget down because in a way you could also be wasting money if you're running ads and spending a lot of money, but you're fully booked because you don't even have room to get new clients in. But if you slow down, you can turn the budget back up because now you have room to get for more new clients, because that's one of the things that drives your ad costs up is if you're running ads and new clients are seeing them and they want to come in, but then they go and look at your schedule and you don't have any openings. You don't ever want to turn it off because again, you're going to be losing clients and you want to be able to replace them. So never turn it off. Always, you can dial it up or dial it down, but never off, because there's going to be clients that are looking and they might see your ad. And even if you're busy, they might still be able to find a way on your schedule. But if you just turn that ad off, then you only market when you're slow. The ads usually take a little while to start to ramp up again too. So the longer you keep the ad running, usually the better it gets in terms of trying to find the ideal clients to put your ad in front of. So sometimes if you turn the ad off and then you restart it, it kind of starts that learning process all over again and your ads become less effective. So if you're doing paid ads, I think that you should just include that as just your normal operating expenses. Same thing that you would do for your electricity bill, for your water, for your rent. Like, I'm going to dedicate this much to my marketing every single month, no matter what. And if we're busy, I'll turn it down. You're hopefully accounting for that when you're figuring out how much it costs to operate your business. But you also need to factor in marketing in there too. And if you always just have a budget for it, I'm going to spend this much on marketing every month. Never, I don't want to exceed that, but I'm never going to spend less than this. I'm going to account for it. Then you can dial it up or dial it down depending on where you're at in the barbershop. And the same thing goes for barbershop owners and salon owners. Marketing for clients is virtually identical to marketing for talent, for barbers and hairstylists. So I've made the mistake many times. I've only recently realized this, that the same thing applies to hiring. You want to figure out what is a budget that I can spend every month. It doesn't have to be, you don't even have to pay money. You can use the free sites. Always have something out there saying that you're accepting applications because the perfect candidate might come along. And even if you're not hiring, you could at least reach out to them and let them know, hey, we're not hiring right now, but if a spot opens up, I'll reach back out to you. And then you start building a list of basically leads. And then if somebody does leave you or you end up having to let somebody go, you have a list of people that you can call that expressed interest in working for you in the past, and you can fill that chair way quicker. Maybe they moved on, but if you have a list of 10, 20 people that have applied to you and that you thought would be a good candidate, at least one of them might still be interested in working for you. So the same thing goes for hiring for barbershops and salons. Always have something out there saying that you're hiring, that you're accepting applications, because the perfect candidates don't stay on the market for very long, and they might see your ad at the perfect time. And even if you're not hiring, you let them know, I'm going to reach out, or you make room for them, right? Because these A players don't come along very often. You might want to make room for them, right? So you always want to market. Never turn the ads off. Never stop posting on social media. Most barbers make the mistake of only thinking about it when they're slow. But if you're consistent with it, then hopefully you'll never be slow, or you'll just be less slow than other barbers because you'll be different. And here's a little bonus tip for you. Marketing, when we think about marketing as barbers, we tend to think about marketing and attracting new clients. But I think that you should put just as much focus, if not more, into figuring out, how do I get my existing clients to come back, or people that I haven't seen in a while that I maybe have lost? How do I reach out to them and see if they're interested in coming back and seeing me? Because these people already know who you are. And unless they had a really terrible experience with you, they may be willing to give you another shot. When was the last time you reached out to clients you haven't seen in a while? When was the last time you sent out an email or a text message blast to everybody in your system saying that you have availability, or even just adding value? Maybe you can give them a hairstyling tip. Just something, even if they don't open the email, they will see it and they will start to think about you. And I guarantee you, if you send an email to 1,000 people that you haven't seen in 6 months, at least one of them is going to come in. And how much time did that take you? Maybe an hour if you're not good at it. So 1 hour of work can get you one client. I think that's worth it, right? So don't just focus on trying to get new clients in the door all the time. I think a lot of the gold is in getting your existing clients to the ones that are currently coming to you and maybe haven't been back in a while, or people that stopped coming to you, trying to get them to come back, because maybe they stopped coming to you because you were busy and now you're not busy. So letting them know that you have availability might just be the only thing that they need to give you another shot. If you need more help, join my online community full of other barbers and hairstylists that are looking to grow and make more money. There's free videos and courses in there that aren't made available to the public. I'll put the link for the community in the description below. I hope to see you there.